Hi. So I'm just filming this from my phone because I can't, because I've put my tripod somewhere and I can't be asked setting it up on my main camera. So I'm just going to film this TBR from my phone. But hi. So I am back in 2023 for my Once Upon a TBR game. So how this game works is I select cards and I pick the prompt that is on it. So this one is multiple POV. And basically, how this works is I take the cards and I find a book based on based on my TBR and how the prompt works. So, like I said in my Wheel of Colors, I am intending to do this over every 2 months. And so the deal I'm going to do is for February's books because because I'm going to use January to finish the ones I didn't get to last year with this game. So yeah, the plan is I've got 6 books here. For this round, I will probably only do 4 new cards just so that I can catch up with this game. And then I'll come back in 2 months' time and I'll play this game properly. Okay, so I've shuffled them. Now let's grab the first card. The first one is set in another country or author from another country than where I live. Okay, so I'm gonna set in another country or author is from another country. And then the next one that I have is a sad book. Okay, I can do that. And then the next one is an animal sidekick. Yes, I'm going off the assumption where if I completed the prompts last year, they're back in the deck. They're back in the deck. Yep, so anyway, animal sidekick. And then we've got black cover. So this is any book that has a black cover. And then I'll go one more. And then it's simply read a romance. Okay, so that's my card draws for this round. So I will cut to me finding what books fit. Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna hold the tripod up because the lighting is terrible to put you down. Okay, so doing the prompts in order. The first one we got is set in another country or author from another country. Now I live in Australia, so that actually shouldn't be too hard to find one set in another country or from another country. And so let's go with this one. I went with This Place Is Still Beautiful by, I do not know how to pronounce that. I'm going to probably butcher the crap out of it, but ZZ Tian. Yep, so This Place Is Still Beautiful by ZZ Tian. And then my next card was a sad book. Okay, I'm sure I have some of these. I'm sure I have some of these on here. Yep, here we go. This one's a sad book. One I See Blue by Lily Bailey. And then the next card is Animal Sidekick. This one might be harder because I haven't read these books yet, but I'll give it a go. Okay. Alright, I'm counting this one. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. The dog is what sets him off on his journey, so I'm counting this as Animal Sidekick. Okay, and then the next one is black cover. So any book with a black cover. Okay, so should I do it? How long is this book? No, probably not this month. I'm gonna read that, but not this month. Okay, so it's another black book. Let's go for one of my proper old books on this thing. A Noise Downstairs by Linwood Barclay. Or Barclay, I don't know. Okay, and the last one I have is Read a Romance. Alright, this actually works for a vlog that I was planning to do in February anyway, which is read romances off my TBR. So I'll just pick one of these and submit that. And I'll go with The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. Alright, let's go back into my office and we'll finish up this vlog. Okay, and I'm back. And so the books that I chose for February to include are This Place Is Still Beautiful by ZZ Tion. And I'm just going to go with what the top part says. Anna Lee and Margaret are sisters who agree on only one thing, that they have nothing in common. So it's basically about both of the sisters are separated and they suffer from racism and all that, and then they have to and then they're on different ends of the fence. Like one wants to fight back, one wants to ignore it, and so it's about race and culture and stuff. Anyway, so ZZ Tion, This Place Is Still Beautiful. Okay, the next one was sad book. For that, I've got One I See Blue by Lily Bailey. This is about a kid who has autism. It doesn't say on the back, but basically he's got autism and he's just trying to survive in school. He's scared of a lot of stuff, and then he makes one friend who helps him not feel alone. And so just a story about this kid coming to terms with his issues. So this will definitely feel sad, if nothing else, because I feel like I'd relate to parts of it. Okay, and then black cover, we have A Noise Downstairs by Linwood Barclay. And this is about... Yeah, this is about a guy who found 2 dead bodies in his best friend's car. And he... Yeah. And his wife tries to help him, but he ends up just hearing noises that no one else seems to. So it's kind of a, is he actually hearing noises or is he just going mad? Story. And then for Animal Sidekick, I did cheat with this one a little bit, but I went with The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. While the dog isn't a prominent feature in a fair amount of the story, he does play a part in setting the character on the journey, so I'm counting it. This is a guy who, he's 15, he understands stuff about school but doesn't understand people, and then he finds a dead dog and decides to write a murder mystery about it. And then the last one was Read a Romance. I've gone with The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This is about a girl who finds love at who was on her way to her father's wedding, has missed her flight, and meets a random dude on an airport. Yeah, meets a random dude in an airport. And so it's just a short little romance book. It's only just over 200 pages, so it's nice and short. Okay, and now I'll go into my other reading plans for the month, for February and January. Okay, so I have, so in February, my Valentine's plan is to just read some romance off my TBR. So as I said, this one was already going to be in it, but now I can count it as my TBR game. And then I've got Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. This is about a chef and it's about a romance between a female chef and someone who has come out as non-binary, and she has to decide whether she wants the career or this new relationship. And that just sounds like a nice story that I'm intrigued by. And then the last two are some well-known romance, and we've got The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks and The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I don't think I have to get into what these two are about, but yes, so my plan is to read these three, and then I also plan to read the entire Twilight series over the month. Which is why I'm doing this over 2 months, so I have time to read these. So my only other romance connected vlog is this Twilight series, because I've never read it and I've always been curious about it. So that'll come out in February at some point. And then the last thing I've got is readathons and reading challenges for January and Feb. Let me just put my cards aside, and I will pause my recording, bring up all my information, and I'll be back with you. Okay, and I'm back. I was having some issues turning on my computer. I've got it on now, so I have all the information for the reading challenges in front of me. So for the first challenge, I am going to... One of the reading challenges I compete in every year is the TBR Knockout Challenge, which is hosted by Completely Melanie. And her 2 prompts for January are to read a book with only words on the cover. So for that, I'm going to do If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. This was already on my carryover to January list. So yeah, I've got If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. And the other one is to read a book with a mostly white cover. And for that, I will do The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks, which was in my other TBR video. So yeah, that's the 2 for that. And then for my other reading challenge that I do, which is the what's it called? Oh yeah, the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. The January prompt is to read a book that starts with A or the. So, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And the one for February for that is Cover or Spine is Complementary Colour. And when I went to that generator she had up, the complementary colour is black. So I'm going to count Twilight as my book for that. So yeah. And and the TBR knockout for February is black or connected to black people. So the 2 prompts for that are read a book by a black author, which I don't think I have. Okay, I'll find one for that at some point. I'll find one for that and add that onto my list. But the other one is to read a book that has themes that are connected to black people. This Place Is Still Beautiful, because this deals with race or racial attacks. And while this is Asian people, it is also an issue that affects the black community. So I can count that. And then the last one is Buzzwordathon. And so for Buzzwordathon, for January, it is Life or Death. And I have a book that I'm planning to read for that, but I can't be bothered to go and get it. But I'll put it on the screen. It is Love of My Life by Rosie Walker. And yeah, that's also for a vlog that I'm planning to film, so keep an eye out for that in Jan. And the February Buzzwordathon is verbs. And for that, I'm going to do the audiobook of Psalm the Wild Built, which also fits my 12 for 12 recommendations for February. And my 12 for 12 for January, I'm going to do the audiobook for Part of Your World by Emma Jimenez. And yeah, so that's it for my reading challenges. So now we'll just get into... I'm doing 2 readathons this month, but one of them I can just connect the prompts as I go to it, because there's enough prompts that I'll probably find that one of these fills something. But yeah, my other readathon for January is the Battle of the Bookish. I'm on team Harry Dresden, and the prompts for that one are read a book with a magic system, The Night Circus, and then next one is read a middle grade, and for that I will do Nevertell. And then the only one that I have to add one for this, read a graphic novel. The only graphic novel on my shelf that I haven't read in graphic novel form is The Witches by Roald Dahl. So it's a Readathons of story, but it's also a graphic novel. So I can take that prompt off. And then I've got Read a Book Where the Characters Travel, How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. And the last one is Read the First Book in a Series. And this is the only other one where I'm adding a book on, because I'm not doing Twilight until February. And this is a January readathon. And for that, I'm going to do Hunting Lila by Sarah Alderson. This is a duology. And this is a book where she's got a unique ability of some kind. She heads to the only people she heads to find her brother, and they're a part of a secret organization. And one of the people who is in this organization or hunting her down is the person who killed her mother. So yeah, I'm not going to hold all these books up because that is a lot of books. But this is my TBR, or this is my Once Upon a TBR plus all the rest of my reading information for January and February. So I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.